Folks, fellows, and partners in crime, let me welcome you to another FinanceRealTalk session. Today I would like to talk about the Greensill Bank, about Bitcoin at a new all-time high, and also the PiNetwork, which was founded by three Stanford graduates and also discovered by the Simpsons previously. That means maybe there is something behind that. What happened at Greensill Bank in Germany and who didn't fulfill his responsibilities again? The German regulator took direct oversight of operations at Greensill Bank in Germany, which was formerly the Nordfinanzbank AG and was bought a couple years ago by Greensill Capital. All this happened beginning of March. Currently, the headquarters of Greensill Capital is seeking for insolvency in Down Under. The bank was specialized in supply chain finance, where business borrow money to pay bills. So for those of you who don't understand what this all means, I would recommend to ask Big Brother Google how trade finance works. The catastrophe started when Credit Suisse, one of the two big banks in Switzerland, suspended 10 billion of funds linked to Greensill, because there was a warning that there were considerable uncertainties about the true value of those assets. Oh my goodness, does this mean those bankers lied about numbers and figures? I guess you only will be called a liar when you get catched while you tell that bullshit. Anyhow, back to the story. Another Swiss asset manager holding followed Credit Suisse behavior and closed another fund worth 0.8 billion, and the domino effect started. Did you know that the former UK Prime Minister David Cameron is a kind of senior advisor to Greensill? That kind of jobs are pretty common with those politicians who always act in favor for a specific lobby. It's not really a bribe, it's more I help you and you pay me later mentality. Just have a look on those politicians who end up in the supervisory board or as an advisor to the industry, and you will immediately understand what's happened. And if you look about those laws which they supported in their active days in politics, then you got the proof. But what happens now to the clients of Greensill Bank? Again, Greensill Bank has products like loans and deposits. Means you give them your money and they pay you an interest. Great way to earn money. That's what also some cities and communities in Germany thought and invested millions and millions. Also the government-owned TV station called ARD and also some radio station invested in Greensill. I think the amount which those invested were more than 100 million plus euros. So the good thing for the retail clients is they will get their money up to 100,000 euros from the deposit insurance fund. In exceptional cases, this amount could go up to 500,000 euros. The problem with that fund is it doesn't cover the investment of communities and cities, means the money of cities like Gießen, Bremen or Eschborn nearby Frankfurt is gone with the wind, and those were always two-digit million amounts. Means that's the taxes the citizens of those cities paid before. Interesting wise, it seems like that the government-owned TV and radio stations will get their money back, but at the end of the day, we see a proof that greed is the reason why all this happens again. But what did the German watchdog do? That's the second institution after Wirecard within a year where the German regulator screwed up again. There were some signals of suspicious behavior and problems given by the Banking Association in Germany already early 2020. But the regulator played the three monkeys game again. I believe I can fly. A new all-time high was reached by Bitcoin on the weekend. More than $61,000. Interesting recovery if you think about the 20% price drop a couple of weeks ago. Let me explain you one of the reasons why that dump happened. Firstly, it was a kind of consolidation correction of the price. That happens also with shares and other indexes. But of course not in that way like we had that with Bitcoin or maybe with other altcoins. But one of the interesting reasons why it was pretty obvious that something like this will happen to the prices was the fact that two Bitcoin futures expired exactly in that week where we saw that dump. And after the second future expired, we just had a slow recovery and a sideways movement of the prices, and voila, Another all-time high was reached. If you ask yourself, how does a Bitcoin future work? Well, it is a contract which is based on the price of Bitcoin, and speculators can place a bet on what they believe the price of Bitcoin will be in the future. In addition, it enables investors to speculate on the price of Bitcoin without actually having to own Bitcoin. During the last dump, we identified that many coins found their way back into the market, means someone sold massively coins. On the one side, miners, those who helped to create those coins, sold their own earned coins to take profits. On the other side, of course, there were individuals who bet on a lower price for Bitcoin to make profit out of the futures. Another great indicator to understand when it makes sense to sell and buy Bitcoin or to hold it is the 200-week moving average heat map. I will insert the link to the chart below in the description. The next thing I would like to recommend to you guys, if you like to be a trader or understand how to do proper trading, have a look on Crypto Crew University on YouTube. It's a pretty sympathetic guy who explains it good, and just keep it very simple so that everyone knows what's about. And if you don't have time to do so, just watch the news and follow the White Knight Michael Saylor from MicroStrategy. My gut feeling tells me that every time MicroStrategy buys more coins to a specific price, that price will become the new lowest low for the price of Bitcoin. If you like to be a safe trader, just do copy trading of MicroStrategy. We can also talk about the benefits and risks of copy trading, or what's called social trading, in one of our next videos. Just leave me a comment if this is something of interest for you or not. And just in case it is, we should definitely talk also about the stock to flow ratio and if this model is or should be applicable also for Bitcoin. As many people, and also I do believe, it is definitely a store of value, because once the last Bitcoin is mined, there will never be any more. That's why Bitcoin is currently the only liquid asset in the world that has the fixed supply. Even gold do not have this status, as you still can go out and do some mining for gold. Maybe there will be a time when we will be not able to mine for gold anymore, but I don't think that I will see this in my lifetime. And back to that good which has a fixed supply, any increase in demand means the value goes up over time, and making it an ideal store of value asset. And that's what I also believe will definitely happen to Bitcoin. So it's never too late to jump on the train until Bitcoins were mined. But please, I'm not your financial advisor, and don't take this as a financial advisory. A new star in the crypto sky? Let me tell you this. Even The Simpsons has discovered this network in one of their episodes, as you can see on the picture here. And we all know The Simpsons are great indicators for something which will nearly happen as they predicted. A kind of modern oracle we have here with The Simpsons. Firstly, let's talk about what that PiNetwork is, how it works, and which folks invented this. So, it was a team of 3 Stanford graduates who developed that new crypto project, which can be currently mined from the smartphone, but I guess this will be changed in the future. But let's continue about what's Pi. The intention was to create a secure, immutable, non-counterfeitable sort of money and secured platform for smart contracts. They tried to do this in using the blockchain technology and the Stellar consensus protocol. Short explanation about Stellar. Stellar is a blockchain-based network which has great use cases for payments, for instance, especially when it becomes about remittance payments and you would like to send to your family abroad money. Normally this could take time and you have to pay extra fees, and not every bank offers sometimes services like that, and if they do so, it takes time because you have to work also with correspondence banks, etc, etc. Or you can send it with payment service providers like MoneyGram or Western Union, which took also a specific fee for that. So worst case, you pay loads of fees for just sending only 50 euros or dollars. Another thing which could be done, and that's where Stellar comes into the game, is that banks connect to the Stellar network, transform the money which should be sent abroad into lumens, which are the coins in the Stellar system, send it through the blockchain to that specific country, exchange the lumen into the local currency, and the payments is done. As you can see, it has a great potential especially for cross-border payments, but also for many other types of payments. As I mentioned in one of my previous videos, every coin or network has a use case, a reason why it was built back in the days.
The future of money is evolving rapidly, and no one wants to be left behind. Mining Bitcoin is time and energy intensive, requires extensive physical resources, and advanced technical knowledge. Introducing Pi, the first and only digital currency you can mine on your phone. That's big. This novel approach, developed by Stanford PhDs, allows you to mine cryptocurrency on your phone by leveraging your existing social connections with no cost and no battery drain. Have a phone? You've got Pi. It's time to join the revolution. Download Pi today for Apple or Android and get your piece of the pie.
The PiNetwork also released a white paper, which you can also find on their mobile app. I will send an invitation link in the description below, because you need an invitation for being a member and starting mining for Pis. That roadmap contains 3 phases, and the first phase was about designing the distribution and gaining trust. The server they have is operating in an emulation to improve user experience during this phase. The next phase is the test phase, where we are at this moment. Before launching the mainnet, they will deploy a node software on a testnet. It simulates exact trust graph as the mainnet, but on a testing Pi coin. The interesting thing is the network will only continue with the last phase when their users or their network think it's ready to go, or in other words, when they have sufficient users. I guess they mentioned something like 100 million users for the last phase. To be part of the journey, you should have validated your account before. There's a KYC process which you have to fulfill within the first 14 days or something like this. In the US and in Canada, you can verify your account with your phone number. For the rest of the world, you need an ID card or anything else which documents your name. That's why it's pretty important to open the account with your real name. There are also some voices out there who tell the world that Pi is just another scam which provides no value to their users, and it's just collecting data which they get through the KYC process. If you ask me, we can compare the current situation of Pi like the early days of Bitcoin, where no one knew what to do with Bitcoin. Another idea is to build a marketplace where hundreds of online stores will accept Pi as a payment method. Currently, some online shops offer goods which you can buy with your Pis. Please avoid to do something like this. Do you know the story of the most expensive pizza in the world? Back in 2010, some brilliant minds ordered the pizza and paid the pizza with 10,000 Bitcoin, which were worth $30 to $40 back in those days. But we talked previously about the current price. That means that guys bought a pizza for more than $600 million. Wow, it's like you have eaten some diamonds instead of cheese. So that's it for today's video. If you like the content, feel free to smash the hit and the subscribe button. And also a big thank you to all the followers which we gained since the weekend. So we're still in the beginning, and I hope we will gain a little bit more folks, fellows and partners in crime in the near future. You will find all the links to the charts and also the PiNetwork for starting your mining activities in the description below. Have a great one, stay safe and healthy. Bye.